My girlfriend never touched me anymore. No kisses, no hugs, just cold distance. One night, I met a woman who said, "It's not wrong to want to feel wanted." I swore I'd never cheat. Until my girlfriend forgot our anniversary. That night, I didn't sleep alone. When she finally asked, "Are you seeing someone else?" I smirked and said, "Does it matter? You stopped seeing me a long time ago." I never imagined I'd be sharing something so personal here, but I need to get this off my chest. Maybe someone out there has faced something similar. Sarah and I had been together for 5 years. We met during our junior year at the University of Chicago. She was deep into her graphic design studies, always sketching in her notebook, while I was buried in code, pursuing software development. Our paths crossed at a campus tech art festival where she showcased an interactive art piece, and I was immediately drawn to both her work and her. After graduation, we decided to take the next step and move in together. We found a charming apartment in Lincoln Park, a stone's throw from the zoo and the lake. Those early days were filled with late-night talks, weekend brunches at local cafes, and spontaneous road trips to nearby states. Our physical connection was intense, we couldn't keep our hands off each other. But about a year ago, things began to shift. Sarah became distant. The spontaneous hugs and kisses became rare, and our intimate moments dwindled. At first, I attributed it to her new job at a prestigious design firm downtown. The long hours and demanding clients were taking a toll on her. I tried to be supportive, often leaving her favorite snacks on her desk or drawing her baths to help her relax. Despite my efforts, the emotional chasm between us widened. Our conversations became surface level. We'd sit together in the living room, but it felt like we were miles apart. I missed the woman who used to playfully doodle on my arm with her pen or leave cute notes in my lunch. Our 5th anniversary was approaching, and I saw it as an opportunity to rekindle our flame. I made reservations at Alinea, a restaurant we'd always dreamed of visiting. I also bought her a delicate silver bracelet with a charm that mirrored one of her own designs. The day arrived, and I was buzzing with excitement. I left work early to prepare, even picking up her favorite flowers, peonies. But as evening approached, Sarah texted, saying she was swamped with work and wouldn't make it home in time. She had forgotten our anniversary. I was crushed. I replied, telling her it was okay and that we'd celebrate another time. But deep down, I felt neglected and unimportant. Feeling dejected, I decided to clear my head with a walk. I wandered into a cozy bar in Wicker Park, a place I'd never been before. The dim lighting and soft jazz playing in the background provided a comforting ambience. I ordered a drink and sat alone, lost in thought. A woman approached me, introducing herself as Lisa. She appeared to be in her early 30s, with a warm smile and an aura of confidence. We struck up a conversation, and before I knew it, I was pouring out my feelings about Sarah and the growing distance between us. Lisa listened intently, occasionally nodding in understanding. After I finished, she said, "It's not wrong to want to feel wanted." Her words resonated deeply. We continued talking, and there was an undeniable chemistry between us. She made me feel seen and desired, emotions I hadn't felt in a long time. One thing led to another, and we ended up at her apartment nearby. That night, I felt a passion and connection that had been missing from my life. But as dawn approached, guilt washed over me. I had always considered myself loyal. What had I done? I returned home to find Sarah asleep. I took a long shower, hoping to cleanse myself of the guilt, but it lingered. I resolved to bury the incident, convincing myself it was a one-time mistake. But it didn't stop there. Lisa and I began meeting regularly. I justified my actions by telling myself that Sarah had emotionally checked out of our relationship. But deep down, I knew I was betraying her trust. Months passed, and the weight of my secret became unbearable. I became paranoid, constantly fearing discovery. Sarah noticed my erratic behavior and confronted me one evening. "Are you seeing someone else?" she asked, her eyes searching mine. I hesitated, then replied bitterly, "Does it matter? You stopped seeing me a long time ago." Tears welled up in her eyes as she turned away. The gravity of my actions hit me like a freight train. I had become the very thing I despised, a cheater. We decided to take some time apart. I moved out and stayed with a friend in Wicker Park. During this period, I reflected on my actions and the choices that led me here. I realized that while Sarah had been distant, I should have communicated better rather than seeking solace elsewhere. I ended things with Lisa. She understood, acknowledging that our relationship was built on shaky ground. I focused on self-improvement, attending therapy sessions to understand my behavior and learn healthier coping mechanisms. After several months, Sarah and I met up. We had an open and honest conversation about where things went wrong. We both acknowledged our faults and the breakdown in communication. While the trust was shattered, we decided to work on rebuilding it, taking things slow. It's been a challenging journey, and we're still navigating the complexities of our relationship. But we've learned the importance of communication and not taking each other for granted. To anyone reading this, if you ever feel neglected or unwanted in your relationship, please talk to your partner. Seek counseling if necessary. Cheating isn't the answer and only leads to more pain. Learn from my mistakes. Thanks for letting me share. It had been about 2 months since I moved out. Sarah and I were texting here and there, but nothing deep. Just surface stuff. Hope you're doing okay. Let me know if you need anything from the apartment. That kind of thing. Meanwhile, I was trying to get my life together. Therapy was helping, slowly. I was journaling, staying off dating apps, staying sober, trying to face the damage I caused. I thought Sarah and I were starting to slowly rebuild. But then something happened that knocked the air right out of me. It started with a text from an unknown number. You should know she's not exactly alone these days. I stared at it for a while, heart racing. I didn't reply. A couple days later, another message. You didn't think she'd wait around forever, did you? I couldn't ignore it anymore. I called Sarah. She answered on the second ring. Hey, she said, a little hesitant. Is there something you want to tell me? I asked, my voice calm but tight. A pause. Then she said it. I've been seeing someone. I froze. It felt like the floor fell out from under me. I know, I had no right to be angry. I cheated. I broke the trust. But hearing it out loud, it hit hard. She said his name was Marcus. They'd met at work. She didn't give details, but I could read between the lines. He was there when I wasn't. He listened when I didn't. And now he was the one making her smile. I hung up. I didn't even say goodbye. That night, I didn't sleep. All I could think about was her laugh, her eyes, her voice, now shared with someone else. A week later, I saw them together. I was at a Walgreens picking up a prescription when they walked in. Holding hands. Laughing. She didn't see me, but I saw her. She looked happy. The kind of happy she hadn't been in a long time. Not with me. I walked out without buying anything. I just sat in my car, fists clenched on the steering wheel, shaking. And then, because the universe has a sense of humor, Lisa texted me that same night. I hadn't heard from her since the day I told her it was over. You up? That was all it said. I stared at it for a while. I didn't answer. But the thought stayed in my head like a song you can't shake off. I knew what that text meant. I also knew I was in no place to respond. But the truth? A part of me wanted to. A petty part. A hurt part. A part of me that wanted to feel like I still mattered to someone. Anyone. Instead, I went to therapy the next morning and told my therapist everything. She didn't judge me. Just said, you're grieving. And grief comes with chaos sometimes. I nodded, but inside, I was unraveling. The next twist came a few days later. Sarah called me. She sounded different. Cold. Did you tell anyone about Marcus? She asked. No, I said. Why? She sighed. He's been getting these weird messages. Anonymous. Stuff like homewrecker and watch your back. It's freaking him out. I blinked. What? I didn't do that. She was quiet for a second. Then she said something I didn't expect. I believe you. But I think Lisa might have done it. My stomach turned. Lisa. Was she still watching me? Still holding a grudge? I hadn't blocked her. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have done that a long time ago. That night, I checked my socials. Sure enough, Lisa had liked an old photo of Sarah and me from over a year ago. I hadn't even noticed. I checked her page, nothing obvious, but the timing was too weird to ignore. I didn't reach out to her. Not yet. I wanted to talk to my therapist first. But I started to feel like my past was reaching out, trying to claw me back into chaos just when I was trying to climb out. And the worst part? I still missed Sarah. Even after all this. Even knowing she had someone else. Because despite everything, she was home to me. And I had no idea if I'd ever get that back. About a week after Sarah told me someone had been harassing Marcus, I finally blocked Lisa on everything. Her number, her socials, even her email. I didn't confront her, didn't say a word. I just vanished. It felt necessary. For my peace, for Sarah's, for everyone's. Things were quiet for a while. I was focused on work, going to therapy, trying to keep my head down. But peace didn't last. One morning, I woke up to about 15 missed calls and a handful of texts, all from Sarah. Call me now. I'm serious, this isn't funny. What did you do? Heart pounding, I called her. She picked up instantly. Did you tell your therapist anything about Marcus? She asked, voice sharp, panic under the surface. What? No. Why would I? Because he just lost his job, she snapped. Someone emailed his company. Said he was sleeping with a client's wife. It got flagged and now he's on leave pending investigation. He's freaking out. What the hell? That wasn't me, Sarah. She didn't say anything. I swear to you, I would never do that, I said, and I meant it. You really think I'd try to ruin the guy's life like that? She sighed. I don't know what to think anymore. And then she hung up. I sat there in silence, staring at my phone. It didn't feel like Lisa's style. Too targeted. Too specific. Lisa was emotional, maybe unstable, but this? This was calculated. And then a disturbing thought hit me. What if it wasn't Lisa? What if Marcus had enemies? Or worse, what if Sarah was setting this up? I know how paranoid that sounds, but stay with me. About a year ago, before things got cold between us, Sarah had told me a story about her ex. Some guy named Dean. She said he cheated on her, so she made sure everyone he worked with knew what kind of guy he really was. I didn't think much of it at the time. But now? That story came back with new weight. I started wondering, was this a pattern? Was I really the villain in her story? Or just the latest one? I started digging a bit. A few old photos, some Facebook friends I never paid attention to. I even reached out to one of her old friends from college, Laura. We weren't close, but she knew me well enough to reply. When I asked if she remembered Sarah's ex, she replied, "You mean the guy she got fired from that ad agency in Boston?" Yeah. That was nasty. But I guess he deserved it. I froze. That wasn't Dean. That was another guy. Another job. Another city. I replied, wait, I thought Dean was the only ex. Laura never texted back. Now I was officially in my head. Had Sarah done this before? Was Marcus just the next one in line? I didn't know what to do. If I brought it up, she'd think I was accusing her, maybe make it worse. But I couldn't let it go. So I started keeping notes. Every weird message. Every name. Every date. I didn't know what I was planning, maybe nothing. But I needed a record. Just in case. Then came the biggest twist yet. 3 weeks later, I got a manila envelope at my work address. No return name. No sender info. Inside? Photos. Me and Lisa. From that first night. Clear as day. Us walking into her building. Us on the balcony. One of me leaving in the morning, looking over my shoulder. My blood went cold. There was a note stapled to the back of the last photo. Just 6 words, funny how secrets always come back. I didn't tell anyone. Not yet. Not Sarah. Not my therapist. Not even my best friend. Because whoever sent that, whether it was Lisa, Sarah, or some third party, I knew one thing, someone wasn't done with me yet. And they were playing a long game. I kept the envelope in my desk drawer for a week. Every day I'd pull it out, stare at the pictures, and put them back. My chest felt tight all the time. I barely ate, barely slept. My therapist noticed. I finally told her about it. She asked if I thought Sarah sent it. I said I didn't know. But I was starting to. That Friday night, Sarah called. Said she wanted to talk. In person. Come to the apartment, she said, I think we should be face to face. So I did. I walked in expecting an awkward conversation, maybe another argument. What I didn't expect was to find Marcus there, sitting on the couch like he belonged there. Sarah stood by the kitchen island, arms crossed, face like stone. We need to clear the air, she said. I looked at Marcus. He looked pissed. I sat down, silent. Waiting. Sarah pulled out a small stack of printed pages. Emails. Screenshots. She slid them across the table. This is what got Marcus suspended, she said. This was sent to his boss from an anonymous email. But the phrasing? The timeline? The references to things only someone close to me would know? She looked directly at me. It had to be you. I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because I couldn't believe it. I didn't send that, Sarah. I wouldn't go that low. You really think I want to destroy someone else's life? Marcus stood up. Then who did? Huh? Who else would want to ruin me? I pulled the envelope out of my bag. Laid the photos out on the table. You tell me. Sarah blinked. Marcus leaned in, studying them. Someone sent these to my job, I said. No name. No return address. Just a note that said, funny how secrets always come back. Sarah picked up the top photo. Her hand shook. Marcus stepped back, staring at her. You knew about this? He asked. She didn't answer. Sarah, he said again, voice rising. Did you send this to him? No, she snapped. I didn't. But I knew about it. That's when everything cracked open. Sarah looked at me, eyes glassy. I saw you with her, okay? That night, our anniversary. I was driving home and saw you walking into that building with Lisa. I knew something was wrong. I followed you. I waited. I watched you come out the next morning. I swallowed hard. So, you sent the photos? She shook her head. No. I didn't need to. But when you pretended like nothing happened? When you said, does it matter, like it was my fault? Yeah, I wanted you to feel what I felt. Marcus stared at her. And me? What about me, Sarah? Did I matter? She turned to him slowly. You were a reaction. I wanted to feel wanted. You gave me that. But I didn't expect this to go this far. He took a step back like she'd slapped him. Jesus. So I was just a rebound. Silence. Then Marcus grabbed his coat and left, slamming the door behind him. I didn't follow. Neither did she. For a minute, we just stood there. I finally spoke. Why didn't you say anything? She looked tired. Because I was tired of being the one who always cared more. I thought you stopped loving me. I didn't, I said, voice low. I just stopped feeling like you even saw me. She sat down. I know. I started pulling away. Work, stress, I don't know. But I didn't think you'd actually cheat. I looked down at the table. Neither did I. There were no screams. No more accusations. Just two people who had completely broken something they once believed was unbreakable. A mess. Marcus blocked her. I moved out of Wicker Park and cut off all contact with Lisa, who, for the record, I never confirmed was the sender. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe she was. Maybe it was just the universe kicking us in the teeth. Sarah and I tried to keep it civil. We split everything down the middle. The apartment lease, the furniture, the dog, we didn't have one, thank God. She stayed in Chicago. I took a job offer in Seattle. We never tried to fix the relationship. There was too much blood in the water. I learned that neglect is a slow poison. That silence in a relationship is louder than any fight. That cheating doesn't start with sex, it starts when you stop trying. I regret hurting her. I regret letting someone else make me feel seen instead of demanding that from the person I loved. But I also know this, we both failed each other. And that's the real tragedy. Some nights, I still think about her. I wonder if she's okay. If she found someone who brings her peace. I don't know if I'll ever fully forgive myself. But I'm trying. And I'm not looking for a fairy tale ending anymore. I just want to be better. And that's where I am now. Still healing. Still learning. Still here.